guys, Christina Ricci. If you want more pars, but you're smothering the ball, so you're diving on the ball, you're chunking it, you're topping it, let's take a look at the popular culprits, why this is happening. And then we're going to take a look at the fitness side to identify where in your physical body this could be causing the situation. Because you don't want to smother. You don't come out to play golf to smother the ball. You come out to strike the ball pure. No one wants to chunk it and top it. All right, so first understanding the golf side, the technical side of why that might be happening, and then the fitness side, your body, is something in your body prohibiting you from engaging the appropriate muscles so you can stay in golf sequence. And we're going to talk about all that right now. Let's get to it. All right, so I'm just going to share the popular culprits, why you might be smothering the ball. So smothering the ball just means you're getting real aggressive with the upper body and you're smothering the ball. All right, this is just a recipe for disaster. All right, so essentially your golf swing is out of sequence, but why? All right, and the first thing we're going to look at is the hip flexion, the butt move. Are you getting deep enough with your hip rotation in the backswing so you can get your butt deep enough? All right, if you don't get your butt deep enough, you're not able to leverage the ground. If you don't leverage the ground, then your body's going to want to look for the power. All right, and typically, because you're not leveraging the ground, your lower body's just kind of taking a nap. You got to find the power somewhere. So that's the most popular reason you're not engaging your lower body properly. And what I find is the main culprit of that is you're not engaging the butt. You were told to rotate the hips, yeah, but you're not really engaging your butt muscles, your leg muscles, which in turn leverage the ground. There's a big difference between just turning your hips and engaging the muscles of your legs. All right, so that's popular culprit number one. Popular culprit number two, which goes hand in hand with popular culprit number one, which is deep butt. All right, if you don't get deep enough with the butt, you typically don't get deep enough with the hands. All right, there's two popular scenarios here. The hands don't get deep enough, so the minute you start down, you're already smothering it. Or you get here, you don't have enough hip flexion or butt engagement, you don't have enough chest turn, so then you just take the arms in. All right, so let me start over here. You're here at setup, you don't really have lower body engagement, you don't turn your chest, and you get about here and you're like, well, you could go here, or popular, you can go here. And I see this a ton. All right, so players aren't engaging this and they're not turning their chest. So they end up just getting their arms sucked in like this. So you can see what's going on with the trail arm. It's super bent, caught behind the body, so the only way back is to smother. All right, so instead, make sure you hip hinge so you can get your hip deep enough. That's number one. And then from there, you can get your hands deep enough. And then the key thing at that point, when you get your hands deep enough, you got to make sure you have enough width. Less than 90 degrees. This is the width. Don't focus on the lead arm, all right? Because I could have a straight lead arm. Oh, I have enough width, but you're like this. All right, so there's no width there. Hey, you got to look at this arm here. It's pinned, and you are in trouble. Smother. All right, so instead, I tell my campers, hip hinge, get deep, and reach. Right, you got to reach out. Reach out and touch someone. Reach, like that. So the hips are deep, boom. You're reaching, you have less than 90 degrees with the trail arm, and your hand's deep enough. All right, so the hand's in line with the trail shoulder, not the front shoulder. All right, and all, the hands are in line with the chest, but they're deep. All right, we don't want no chest and just arms. Important point. And then on the downswing, again, the domino effect. If you didn't load your butt and you didn't get deep enough, you're not going to have any lat engagement. So you can see how this all ties in. It's a definite domino effect. All right, so if you didn't get your butt, if you went like this with your arm structure and you smothered it, you're not going to have any lead side lat engagement. If you do it right, and you get your butt involved, boom, and then you get your stay deep with your butt, that's going to get the core engaged and the lat engaged. And then you're going to have this action coming through, all right, where your chest is back here and your hips are rotated open because your lead butt's deep. And this is super stretched and engaged. And that creates that rubber band effect so you can get all the way through. All right, so lat engagement, core engagement, as you move into the transition is just a byproduct of you staying deep with the butt and engaging the ground. All right, so you can stay in your posture and get tremendous ball speed, which equals distance and accuracy. All right, so let's talk about the reasons why you physically may be smothering the ball. All right, and the popular one is your lower back is tight. You're not able to engage your butt because your sacrum is out of alignment. All right, so there could be things going on in your lower body. If you can't engage your lower body, then it's just going to take a siesta because it doesn't want to get injured. All right, so the popular things to look at with your lower body are tight hip flexors. If your hip flexors are tight, we got to open them up. If your quads are tight, that's going to also go shoot right up to your hips if your quads or IT band are tight. All right, so if your hip flexors are tight, that's going to really inhibit being able to use your butt. If your IT band is tight or quads are tight, all right, that's going to shoot up right into your hips. And if your hips are tight, again, you're not going to be able to get the hip flexion to get deep into your butt. You're not going to be able to activate this. All right, so it's really important to make sure this is mobile. Roll it out, get a massage, get adjusted. If your sacrum is out of alignment, say it's tilted and it's creating an S posture, all right, that shuts off your core, puts tremendous pressure on your lower back, and you're not going to be able to engage the glute. It's just going to be completely shut off. All right, the pelvic tilt will tell you. So go ahead and hip hinge here, arch, tuck. That kills right now, all right, because it's real easy for me to arch. All right, so I have to go see my chiropractor. All right, so I find the lower body is the one thing to look at if you feel like you're smothering the ball, because if your lower body's shut off, you're most likely going to smother it. The other thing to check is your core, your psoas. Are you tight in your core, in your psoas region? All right, then you're not going to be able to activate your core to stay in your posture, so you're most likely going to come out of it. If you can't activate your core and your side body obliques here, you're not going to be able to activate your lats either. All right, so this part of your back here that helps you stay in your posture and keep your chest back versus smothering it. All right, so if you're tight in your shoulders or your lats, that could be one of the reasons why you're smothering it. All right, so those are just the popular reasons with your body why you might be coming over the top and smothering it. All right, so if you have any questions about this, leave a comment. I'll be sure to answer in future tips. No buts about it, your game's in the tanker. What are you going to do? You're going to come to a More Pars camp and you're going to let me help you. I'll help you get the butt move. Let's do this. And if you can't come to camp just yet, head to morepars.com and sign up for my virtual camp. Or download my app, morepars.tv. Tons of tips that you won't see anywhere else.